But then again, use that term measuring stick, and that's what I'm getting at with this series against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Started last night. They're the world champs. They made it to the World Series 2017, 2018, and they finally won it in 2020. Just to say you made it to the World Series three times in a 4-year span, that's in the realms of the legendary Yankees teams and the Oakland A's teams of the 70s and of the 80s, like those type of like really good dynasty teams. But for some reason, the Dodgers never really got over the hump, except in 2017 they were cheated for that. But the Marlins got, this was not a wake-up call, but this is like, okay, well, this is what we're up against here. And this is what we have to play up against if we're going to make the playoffs. And make no mistake here, don't let the record of the Los Angeles Dodgers fool you at 21-17. This team can easily, in the second half of this year, go win 20 games in a 25-game span. Easily. They've shown it in the past. Sandy Alcantara was on the mound for the Miami Marlins, and he's like, I was talking with Austin Robillard in the crosstalk for his show. He started the season off amazing, just giving up 2 runs, 1 run, 2 runs here and there, just getting peppered a bit, nothing crazy. In the last couple starts, he's gotten rattled a bit. And against the Dodgers, this is probably the worst I've ever seen Sandy Alcantara pitch in a Miami Marlins uniform. The worst. He gave up 8 runs in the second inning against the LA Dodgers and couldn't even get out of the second inning, an inning in the third for Sandy Alcantara. I believe that's like the shortest start of his career. 7 hits, 8 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. And then after that, everything pretty much calmed down. Marlins bullpen only gave up 1 run after that. And we're going to get into that bullpen talk in a couple segments because we're entering the dog days of summer, and the Marlins bullpen is on pace to have about 4 relievers pitch 60 innings. But we're going to get into that later. Let's get back into this Dodgers series here. Like I said, the bullpen did amazing. Zach Pop, he's been roughed up every time he's been, appeared in a game. Inning in 2/3, no runs. And then John Curtis, 2 innings, 2 hits, no runs. Adam Simber, he only gave up the 1 run, but other than that, Ross Detweiler and Anthony Bender finished off the game giving up no runs. So that's a good sign for the bullpen. But the thing is now you got to finish off this series against the Dodgers, and you pretty much gone through your whole bullpen. And they do have an off day on Monday as they return home. I'm sorry, no, as they continue the road trip in Philadelphia, but it's going to be tough, these next 2 games against the Dodgers. I'm hoping to see a type of comeback in a series like we saw against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now, granted, they're 2 different teams, but they're catching the Dodgers in not at their best. They haven't hit their stride yet, and we see a lot of good championship contending teams do that. That they find their stride probably around the All-Star break, a little bit after that, and then they just take off and separate from the pack. So now's the time to strike. And for some reason, the Marlins have some really good success against Clayton Kershaw. Maybe it's because Don Mattingly is his former coach. Spent about 4 or 5 years coaching the LA Dodgers before Dave Roberts took in his role. And Clayton Kershaw didn't do so well either for the Dodgers. His stat line for the game was, he went 6 innings, but he gave up 5 runs, 6 hits, and he struck out 11. So this is kind of a topsy-turvy type of start for Clayton Kershaw. Yeah, he got 11 Ks, but the Marlins got to him, which is a good sign. They were able to, go after and have somewhat success. Yeah, the strikeouts were high, but they did score runs when it counted, and when they had runners on base just to get back in the game. Can you imagine being down 8-0, and you're going up against Clayton Kershaw? Think about that. And then the Marlins responded after giving up 8 runs with 4. So they cut the lead in half. So it's still a pretty comfortable lead for the Dodgers, but it's still early in the game. But then again, the Dodgers, they're a high payroll team. They have a lot of money invested into that bullpen of theirs, so they know how to shut a game down if things start getting out of hand. And obviously that bullpen is anchored at the end with Kenley Jansen, who's been one of the best closers in the past decade. So, it's going to be a tough series for the Marlins. I think I think they can show that type of resiliency like they did against the Diamondbacks. Against the Diamondbacks, the Marlins in that series lost 5-2, 11-3 in Game 2. 11-3. So maybe we see that type of game in Game 2 against the Dodgers. They, getting blown out, giving up a lot of runs like that. And then after losing 11-3, the Marlins responded, winning 3-2 in Game 3 and 5-1 in Game 4 against the Diamondbacks. Pretty much carried offensively by Jesus Aguilar. He was on fire that series. And it's good for Big O because Jesus Aguilar is on his fantasy team, and so is Miguel Rojas. He's the soul. He's been keeping this team afloat offensively. Him and Aguilar with their play and with their morale, with their spirit, with their enthusiasm. I guarantee that Jesus Aguilar was still messing with the Dodgers at first base, so up with a smile on his face, even getting blown out. And it's not because he's careless or he doesn't really care about this we're blown out. Who gives a damn? No, I feel like it's a great sign, especially for the younger players that hey, we're down 8-0, but there's still a lot of ball left to play. Let's keep our heads up and let's work at it. And they somewhat did. They couldn't complete the comeback, falling short 3 runs, but it's good to see that fight in them. And in today's show, we got a lot to talk about. The Marlins have a rough schedule ahead of them. Like I said, Dodgers, then the Phillies, the Mets. So, like I said, measuring stick. We're gonna see. We saw the Phillies Mets earlier in the season, and we saw in that crazy Conforto play that ended the game on a walk-off for the Mets. Extremely controversial call by the umpires. A little bit later in the season now, we're gonna see our division rivals again. Phillies and Mets. And then, after that, they're going to go against the Red Sox. And before the season started, we all thought, okay, well, the Red Sox, they're not rebuilding. They're somewhat retooling, trying to gather themselves again for another big, playoff run to get another World Series. And they have 22 wins right now. One of the best teams in baseball. Who would have thought? But that's just that just shows you that like in baseball, especially since it's a long season, anything can happen. So let's see if the Red Sox can keep that level of play. The Rays are always there. The Yankees, they're a big question mark right now. But for the Marlins, after the Red Sox, then they play against the Blue Jays, and they have a lot of big names. That pitching staff is really good, anchored by Ryu, who used to play for the Dodgers as well, had great years with the Dodgers. So, and then later on in the show, we're going to talk about some under-the-radar players for the Marlins. Some low-key names that no one's really heard about, even the prospect-wise. Going into the season, I'm going to mention a couple names in a few segments that you probably thought or never even heard of before the season started, and now they're contributing in big ways for the Fish. And then to start the second hour at 2 o'clock, we're going to have Alex Carver, who covers the Marlins minor league system for Fish on the Farm. You can follow them on Twitter at Marlins Minors. The last couple of weeks, Christian and I, and then me last week, we've been getting more and more deep into Marlins minor league talk because, like I was telling Austin in the crosstalk, the Marlins have an extremely bright future ahead. And talking to Alex Carver about this is going to be amazing. Get a lot more insight on obviously the big name players in the minor league system like J.J. Bleday. But like I said, the Marlins minor league system is so deep that he's going to give us a lot more names and a lot more, notoriety for this minor league system, so we can get the names recognized for our fan base. Because at the end of the day, that's what the Marlins are trying to build, or I hope they're trying to build that. A team that pretty much we can recognize at least 5 players, bam, top of our head. Because the last few years, it's always been the same guys. So the Marlins want to create a core, and I feel like that's where they're getting at. And Alex Carver is going to give us a lot more insight on how the Marlins are going to build that core. And then after in the second hour, we're going to get to MLB talk. And the topic that I really want to get into as well is the Dark Knight is rising again. Matt Harvey. I'm not saying he's having a career year or an all-star year, but this is a player and a pitcher who, when he first started out with the New York Mets in his first couple of years, he was destined for multiple Cy Young awards, multiple all-star appearances. That core of the Mets rotation and from 2015, 14, around that time. We're going to get into more of that as well. And guys, don't forget that every Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m., catch Fight Night with Alex Dono and James Walker. It's a show dedicated to combat sports, from UFC to boxing to bare-knuckle brawling. Alex and James provides combat sports fans the insight and interviews they crave. Tune in every Thursday night from 7 to 9 p.m. for Fight Night with Alex Dono and James Walker. Search and subscribe to the podcast by searching Fight Night on the home for combat sports, OnSideRadio.com.
Remember to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Deep into the Count with Alex Aguirre and Christian Chase.
When you want a perfectly straight smile without braces, you can count on MoodyAssDental.com. A stunning smile is within reach. Learn more about Invisalign. Find out why so many trust the Moody Ass family. Dr. Moody Ass is an inventor and has several patents on innovative surgical instruments that are used around the world. Experience a family environment and trust on a worldwide level. From implants to crowns to a beautiful Invisalign smile. Call 305-821-0231. That's 305-821-0231. Or go to the website at MoodyAssDental.com.
If you're looking for a change from the everyday restaurant, then you need to get to Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach. Brats, Wiener Schnitzel, homemade potato pancakes, pretzels with mustard, and lots of German beer. And with daily specials, there is something for everyone. If you're up for a challenge, you should take their famous boot tour. Finish 30 boots of different varieties of German beer, and you'll receive half price on their beer for life. And you'll get to take home your own boot and Checkers Old Munchin t-shirt. They also have outdoor seating available in their new beer garden with live music, as well as carry-out, curbside pickup, and delivery. So, for the finest German food and beer, get over to 2209 East Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Checkers Old Munchin Restaurant, or call them for reservations at 954-785-7565. That's 954-785-7565. We'll see you at Zagat-rated Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach.
Are you ready?
Guayin had a window, but leaves it here for Morgan. In for some strike. It's into the top corner. And Lewis Morgan has got a brace again.
The passion.
Goal! Captain Morgan! What a shot! What a blood! What a missile!
Onside Radio is prepared for another Inter Miami CF campaign. Catch the games. Go to our website and download the apps. On your home for La Rosa Negra, OnSideRadio.com.
Now that it's springtime, it's only getting hotter here in South Florida. Make sure your AC in your home or business is running smoothly by investing in a preventative maintenance plan from M&S Air Conditioning. And M&S is a Mitsubishi Diamond Elite contractor. When you purchase a new Mitsubishi electric mini split system, you'll get a 12-year warranty. Or install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that captures and destroys biological contaminants to improve air quality. M&S Air Conditioning have been providing prompt, honest, and reliable service for over 30 years. Schedule service or call to get more info on our preventative maintenance plans. Call 954-421-3680 or visit ac-florida.com.
He has an overbite that makes him look like a cartoon character, a slightly crooked eye, and an uncommonly wrinkly neck. In the right light, he can look a little like a garden gnome, and he'll wear a bow tie just because. Sure, you might call him a little quirky, but that's exactly what makes him so perfect. Tuna is a 3-year-old Chihuahua Dachshund mix with more than 700,000 followers on Instagram, and it all started because he was adopted. You can't buy a best friend like Tuna, but you can adopt one. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Let's step back into the batter's box with Alex and Christian. To reach out to the guys, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. Back into Deep Into the Count on OnSideRadio.com.
And we're back here deep in the count. Alex Aguirre, your host. Christian Chase, unfortunately, is not with us today. He is recovering from the second dose of his vaccine. So we're deep in the count is not at full strength yet, but next weekend we'll be back at full strength, holding it down here at Onside Radio for your Saturday programming. And like I said last segment, we're going to get into what's ahead for the Miami Marlins and their tough schedule. Dodgers, Phillies, Mets, Red Sox, Blue Jays. Think about that. Dodgers, Phillies, Mets, Red Sox, Blue Jays. The world champs, top teams in the NL East, top team in the AL East, and then another tough team in the AL East, in the Blue Jays. So, it's going to be a tough road ahead for the Miami Marlins because they're still pretty banged up. Jazz Chisholm, he's still in his rehab start. We're going to get more details with that with Alex Carver from Fish on the Farm. Covers the Marlins minor league system. He's coming with us at 2 o'clock. And, Jazz is out. Jorge Alfaro, and I understand, Chad Wallach and Sandy Leon is not your ideal catching duo. And if you throw in Jorge Alfaro and you take out somebody else, it's not like the upgrade is immense, especially defensively. He's been kind of shaky with Jorge this year. And Sandy Leon, he is a fairly good framer behind the plate. And he did have a very big home run in that Arizona series. So, he's not known for his bat. He's more of a defensive backup catcher, but something's got to give offensively between Sandy Leon and Chad Wallach. And I give the nod 9 out of 10 times to Sandy Leon if I'm going to start a game between them two. Maybe if Chad Wallach's on a bit of a hot streak with his bat, then I'll give the nod to Chad. But for the most part, Sandy is the guy. So when Jorge comes back, you throw him into the mix. I would keep Sandy, honestly. I would keep Sandy if, and then send Chad Wallach to the alternate training site. So Jazz and Jorge, Starling Marte still out. That's the top of the lineup right there. Jazz and Starling. Your 1-2 punch. Gone. Starling Marte's injury is more severe with his rib injury. Earlier in the season on a swing, on an awkward swing, he pulled something in his ribs. He's been out for I think almost a month now. So hopefully, he'll be starting on his rehab soon because, Lewis Brinson, he does have his moments, but to remain competitive and to not sink even lower in 500, Lewis Brinson, needs to perform more. That's plain and simple. Isan Diaz playing second base. Jazz was a second baseman. So, the Marlins are downgrading, obviously, from in those two positions, center field and second base. But the gap is immense. It's not like there's a bit of a drop-off. It's a lot. Lewis Brinson does have some big moments, has some big key hits here and there. Still strikes out a lot. But he's good defensively. I will give him that. Lewis Brinson does cover a lot of ground center field, especially in Marlins Park. Because it's still, even with them bringing in the walls and the fences in this season, it's still one of the bigger parks in baseball. It's still very pitcher-friendly. Especially when you take into account the dome. If you have the dome open or closed, plays into effect as well. So the Marlins still pretty banged up. It's looking better. Sixto is still rehabbing. Eliezer Hernandez as well. So the Marlins are not at full strength yet. We're here in deep in the count. We're not at full strength yet. And it's I guess it's kind of a running story, especially here in Miami sports with the Miami Heat. That was kind of like a running tale as well. I'm super happy for them, clinching a playoff spot, trying to secure the 4-5 seed. But that tale as well, that especially they had a COVID outbreak early in the season for the Heat. Oh, the Heat are not at full strength, and I was one of those people as well. I was, and it's true though. You can make excuses all you want, but at the end of the day, the people you throw out there, the players you throw out there, they got to perform. It just sucks. It's a shame to see your favorite teams not playing to their full potential because I'm not guaranteeing that if Jazz and Starling, if they never got hurt, the Marlins are going to be the top of the division right now. No. But I figured there'll be a hovering around 500, not 4 games under. I feel like Jazz and Starling Marte, with their defense, their energy, their offense, they can be a difference of 4 games. Because the Marlins are right there in most of these games. I get it. They've got blown out that one game against Arizona. But like we were saying here at Onside Radio during the week, that was probably the worst loss of the season for the Marlins. So that goes to show you that they're right there. They have a few tough losses, but they're hanging in these games. I guarantee if Jazz and Starling Marte were up at bat in a current key spot instead of Isan or Lewis Brinson, or another player like maybe John Birdie. Well, John Birdie, he's better with the bat, but still, it's just, as from a fan's perspective, it's a better sight to see Starling and Jazz in the batter's box, even in Jorge Alfaro, because going up in the minor league system with the Phillies, he was known for being an offensive catcher. And sometimes that's, you make your way to the minors. The catching is the quickest way up the minor league system because it's so hard to do. No one wants to do it. And if if you're decent defensively, like you're not atrocious. I don't know, but Jorge's been atrocious this season, but he's been respectable with his time with the Marlins as a catcher defensively. But going up the minor league system, Jorge, he was known for his bat, for his offense, and you want that. That's such a huge positive for your lineup to have a catcher that he's solid behind the plate, but if he can hit, that just makes your lineup even more dangerous because they're so hard to find. That's why JT Realmuto is clear and cut the best catcher in baseball. Quickest pop time as well. Like, he's just both sides, hitting and behind the plate. He's amazing. But I understand the Marlins were in a rebuild. They got Sixto in return. And speaking of Sixto, we're going to talk to Alex as well about that, how his rehab assignment is going. And the reason why we talked to Alex about why some of these major league players are doing the minor league system, because they do the rehab games in the minor league system. You don't want to throw them immediately out there into the majors, get major league pitching. You got to groove them in back, especially Marte, who's been out for a longer period of time. And with Jazz, I think with his leg injury, he relies so much on his speed and athleticism. You don't want to rush that as well. I get it. He's young. He can recover a lot quicker than maybe a player like Marte or Jesus Aguilar, who are in their 30s already. But a player like that, you got to be very careful with. And then that's what. And I feel like the Marlins are careful with their prospects, like they are with Sixto. Sixto had a minor injury early in spring training. It progressed a little bit worse, but that was it. They never let it get. Because some players, especially when they're young, they're I get it. They think they're invincible, and they want to be tough. They want to show they can play through injury. They want to prove to the coaches, especially at a young age, that they can be relied on. And it's tough as a manager, and especially as a front office, to look past that because you love that passion and enthusiasm. But at the end of the day, you have to secure that future. And Sixto is that future. Jazz is that future. Players like Starling Marte and Corey Dickerson, they're somewhat stopgaps, but you need those type of players. The Pudge Rodriguez of the world, Mark Redmond, Ugueth Urbina, those are the type of veterans they sprinkle into the 03 team to round off that young core. So I'm not saying this team has 2003 aspirations. They haven't really hit a run like that, and I don't think they will. And that's okay. They're playing a lot better already than what they did in 2019. Even in 2020. Pitching has been phenomenal. Trevor Rogers wasn't like this in 2020. I get it. It was such a small sample size. But I haven't seen the resiliency, the energy, the way that they can come back into series and games. I did not see that a lot in 2020. They took advantage, and I would say it. They took advantage of the 7 games of the 7-inning doubleheaders. Got young, fresh arms. 7 innings, real quick. Go through a lineup. Took advantage of that. I get it. A lot of teams also had doubleheaders as well. And the Marlins pretty much had the same route, and they were behind. They were behind to start 2020. They had a COVID outbreak as well, like the Heat this season. So that's the positives you take from that. They can bounce back. A couple years ago, 2016, that era, 2017, 15, around there, when Manley first got to the Marlins, different core of players. Miggy Rowe was just a utility guy at the time. If they can go on bad stretches, real bad stretches, getting blown out 3-4 games in a row, and finally snapping a streak. Marlins were on a 4-game losing streak, but they were in those games. 2-1, 5-2. Scores like that against the Brewers and Diamondbacks. And then they snap out of it, of that small losing streak, tie a series up, go into to face the LA Dodgers, go down 8 runs, and then the end of the score is 9-6. They were right there. A couple more hits, and what I'm not worried about is Sandy has been one of the key models of that. Having a rough start, having a rough outing. Next time I go out, I bounce back. He is a leader on this team, and he leads by the way he plays. Not a big talker. He leads by his example. And I feel like he's going to do that his next outing, especially in these tough few series coming up. And guys, don't forget, every Monday, Heat and NBA fans, catch the best hour of basketball talk with Ethan Skolnick and Ira Winderman host the Pallet Rack City Inside the Paint show. Listen to 2 of the most knowledgeable and connected reporters in the business. Get year-round insight every Monday from 10 to 11 a.m. with Inside the Paint on the home for hardcore basketball fans, OnsideRadio.com.
Remember to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Deep into the Count with Alex Aguirre and Christian Chase.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Hey, it's Toast, and when I got PGT custom windows and doors installed at my house last year from B&T Windows and Doors, I knew that I was protecting my house when it came to hurricanes, but I was also investing in my house. My value went up. My home insurance cost went down. Yeah, I can now get more for my house when I sell it because I have PGT custom windows and doors installed courtesy of my buddies at B&T Windows and Doors. Just another reason why you should upgrade your house today. Give them a call, 954-233-0126. That's 954-233-0126, B&T Windows and Doors.
Inter Miami CF fans, join us at our new home this season for all away games as we broadcast live at Dangerous Minds Brewing Company, 1901 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach. Join Big O and Alex Dono for the live pregame, halftime, and postgame shows while we watch the games. Enjoy meticulously brewed beer on site, delicious artisanal pizzas, live music, and giveaways. So, the new home for all Inter Miami road games is at Dangerous Minds Brewing Company at the Pompano City Mall, where they'll feature all the Inter Miami games. Follow them on Twitter at Dangerous Minds B and Facebook and Instagram at Dangerous Minds Brewing, and visit them at dangerousmindsbrewing.com.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
Every 2 minutes, a woman in the U.S. is diagnosed with breast cancer. And in that split second, her life changes forever. The toll of breast cancer is great. The need to support those who are battling the disease today is even greater. We're fighting alongside patients because we know one moment can change a lifetime. United by hope, we can end breast cancer. Join our fight. Save lives.
When you're looking to add that extra style and protection for your home or business, visit A Shade Above Window Fashions in Davie or Sunrise, where plantation shutters are a major part of our business, and they look great in any home. We have them in white, stained colors, and wood tones. We can even motorize your shutters like the one in the OnSideRadio.com studio. A Shade Above Window Fashions, 954-434-4774. That's 954-434-4774. Love the space you live in. A Shade Above Window Fashions.
Join the Inter Miami family in 2021 by becoming a 2021 season ticket member. Enjoy enhanced access benefits and pricing not available to general fans. Visit intermiamicf.com/tickets for more information.
Welcome back to Deep Into the Count. To reach out to the boys, send a text to 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Alex and Christian.
Just Alex and Gary today, here in Deep in the Count. Christian Chase is recovering from the second dose of the vaccine. I got to get on that soon, get the vaccine. So wishing Christian a speedy recovery. Just the side effects of the vaccine. It's happened to a lot of people. It's okay, so wish him a speedy recovery. Holding it down here for the final show in today's programming, OnSideRadio.com. Deep in the Count. This segment, we're going to talk about under the radar Marlins, keeping them alive. Like I said, they're only 4 games under 500. Staying alive in the NL East. And I get it. The Marlins have a lot of big young names, especially in the rotation. Trevor Rogers, he still has the ERA under 2. Pablo Lopez, Sandy Alcantara. Like I said, I'm not worried about that start against the Dodgers last night. He was a huge factor of the reason why the Marlins made the postseason in 2020. He has appeared in big games. The game in Yankee Stadium to clinch their spot in the playoffs. He helped us win a game against the Cubs in the postseason, 6-0 as well. They won a postseason series against a team that was a few years removed from winning it all. Winning the whole thing, the World Series. So like I said, the Marlins are hanging in the NL East. They're 4th right now. Only 4 games back, though. Mets at the top, 18-14. Phillies, 21-18. Braves, 18-20. Marlins, 17-21. And the Nationals at the bottom. The Mets and the Phillies, like I said, that's coming up for the Fish. Measuring stick. How do we perform, or how do the Marlins perform against the top teams in our division? Everyone, including myself, expected the Atlanta Braves to be the top dog, to run away with the NL East. Like I said, it's still early. The Dodgers can do the same in the NL West. The Braves have that type of lineup, that type of rotation as well, that complete team to go on a big run. But right now, the Marlins are still there. And Trevor has been obviously huge. Sandy as well, the whole pitching rotation. But Cody Poteet? Jordan Holloway? What? Now, Jordan Holloway, yeah, he had some reps in spring training, like a lot of the younger players do. But for me, I did not expect Jordan Holloway and Cody Poteet to be helping Marlins win games, especially this early in the season. Didn't expect them to be this banged up, but it happens. It happens. And when, players get healthy again, pitchers get healthy, key guys get back, to 100%, getting back to the active roster, Mattingly has some decisions to make. I get it, they're not drastic. They're not like roster twisting, roster dividing decisions. No. But as a manager, I'm sure Mattingly is thrilled, ecstatic to see players like Holloway and Cody, contribute in large ways. Long relief appearances by Jordan Holloway, has good velocity, gets it up there. He's and this is just the beginning for him. He reminds me a lot of Drew Steckenrider. He was with the Marlins for a few years in the Marlins in their bullpen, but Holloway throws a little harder. I think has a bigger presence as well on the mound, a bit bigger as well. I like what I've seen so far from him. And then Cody Poteet starting one of those games against the Arizona Diamondbacks, and he was phenomenal. 5 innings, 4 hits allowed, only 2 runs, 6 strikeouts. Cody Poteet becomes the first Marlins pitcher in franchise history to strike out 6 batters in their debut and not allow a walk. So that's great. That's great. And it was great that the bullpen held it down for him. And his family was there to see it as well. It was awesome. I was super happy to see that. Obviously, some not under the radar players contributing is Jesus Aguilar. He has 9 home runs on the season, and 8 of them have been away from Marlins Park. Like I said, it's a pitcher-friendly park, even with them moving the walls in. And just like Pro Player, you think Marlins Park was big? Pro Player was immense. That triangle they had in straightaway center field, 434. And don't forget the Teal Monster in left field. If you're a lefty, you're in pretty good shape. 330 down the line is not a poke, but it's not that far either. So like Pro Player was a pitcher-friendly park, just like Marlins Park is. And I call it Pro Player. I know it's the Hard Rock Stadium now, but in my eyes, I grew up going there when it was called Pro Player, and then later on it was Land Shark, I think, or something like that. A bunch of different names after that. But it's good the Marlins have a naming right on their stadium now, Lone Depot Park. That's important. That's really important, actually, because of the naming rights, and they can use that money with the naming rights to help this roster. And I'm not saying it's bad that guys like Holloway and Cody are contributing to this team. It's great to see that. But at the end of the day, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, especially when we get deeper into the season. Jordan Holloway, Cody Poteet, and Anthony Bender's another name right there. Been phenomenal. Throws hard as well with a great 2-seamer. Great lively fastball. But those are the type of players going to this season as Marlins fans saying, those are the type of guys that can help us, probably get a wild card spot. Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, that hasn't, hasn't been on the radar for Marlins fans. But that just goes to show you the depth that this franchise has. We're gonna get a lot more details on who Cody Poteet is, who Jordan Holloway is. More details on Daniel Castano, Nick Neidert. These, the replacements in a sense. While other guys are out, they're stepping in. They've had big moments. This season could be a lot worse. The Marlins' hole can be a lot deeper and harder to get out of. It's all hands on deck with the Miami Marlins. And and for some fans it's unfortunate. Some fans it's fun to see. Next man up. San Antonio Spurs like philosophy. You get your number called, you go out and produce. And sometimes it can go and sometimes it works out well. And so far it's been that way for the Marlins. But like I said, San Antonio Spurs, that's basketball. 82 games, MLB, it's 162. Those guys haven't experienced that type of season, that type of grind. I'm not saying they're going to perform bad. It's a guarantee they're going to be poor performers. No. But the Marlins, I'm not saying put a lot of money into this bullpen, but they kind of pieced this rotation and bullpen to complement one another. And the names that they got with, Anthony Bassi's been a little up and down, but I got faith in him. Dylan Floro has been huge. Obviously, Yimi Garcia. We're going to get into more detail about the bullpen next segment, but what I'm trying to say is that the Marlins front office, Derek Jeter in the front office, they assembled this rotation and this bullpen. I'm not saying like the 2015 Kansas City Royals, but in that type of pitching philosophy is we got a lot of young pitchers. Some of them are going to be on innings limit. Some of them we got to keep our tabs on. So we're not expected, like guys like maybe Sixto, maybe Sandy and Pablo, you can stretch them out. They're well-groomed. They're experienced enough. But for some younger pitchers, you got to have an innings limit. You got to have a closer eye on them. So you got to have a good bullpen to bridge that gap. So, and that was somewhat successful for the Royals for 2 straight years, 2014, 2015. They made the World Series. And they didn't have big arms. They had steady guys like Chris Young, Edison Volquez. Johnny Cueto was their big guy, their ace. He was phenomenal for them in their playoff run in 2015. He was great. But other than that, you weren't getting, pitches in deep games, 7th inning, 8th inning, teasing the 9th inning. No, they weren't, not even close. They built a bullpen that from the 5th, 6th, around there, we have our guys. Or we have a 5th inning guy, 6th inning guy, so on and so forth, and our closer. If the Marlins pitching can just, like I said, get to that 5th, 6th inning, for the younger players, that's going to be great for that. That's going to be great for that rotation because we already know that Sandy, Pablo, Eliezer as well, they can go deeper into games to relieve that stress on the bullpen. So, guys, next segment, we're going to get more into bullpen talk, some numbers. Christian Chase is going to like that, some big numbers. I don't know if it's a positive for the Marlins, though. We'll see how that goes. And, guys, Onside understands gaming is a big part of the sports landscape. That's why every day we keep you updated with some of the latest gaming news with Onside Radio's E-Minute, hosted by Toast, Kai, and Michael Christian. If you miss it, it's podcasted daily. Search Onside Radio on all platforms. Subscribe, rate, and review. OnsideRadio.com, the station gamers call home.
Remember to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Deep into the Count with Alex Aguirre and Christian Chase.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
When you want a perfectly straight smile without braces, you can count on MoodyasDental.com. A stunning smile is within reach. Learn more about Invisalign. Find out why so many trust the Moodias family. Dr. Moodias is an inventor and has several patents on innovative surgical instruments that are used around the world. Experience a family environment and trust on a worldwide level. From implants to crowns to a beautiful Invisalign smile. Call 305-821-0231. That's 305-821-0231. Or go to the website at MoodyasDental.com.
Hey, it's Toast, and no doubt last year hurricane season was one of the craziest we've ever seen. Well, Noah's saying once again, going to be another active season. So you need to call B&T Windows and Doors today and get PGT custom windows and doors installed like I did so that you are fully protected. Listen, There's no better peace of mind than PGT Custom Windows and Doors when you're in the cone of death for a Category 5 storm. Call B&T Windows and Doors today to get set up. 954-233-0126. That's 954-233-0126.
When you want local sports, 1260 WLESPN.
We're live and local.
Yes, what she said.
Well, it's what they wrote.
Look at it this way, honey.
Oh, no. Here we go.
At some point, this was all live, and wherever it came from, it was local there.
You get that look whenever you stretch the truth or when you need your laxative.
Ain't it awful? South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnSideRadio.com.
Now that it's springtime, it's only getting hotter here in South Florida. Make sure your AC in your home or business is running smoothly by investing in a preventative maintenance plan from M&S Air Conditioning. And M&S is a Mitsubishi Diamond Elite contractor. When you purchase a new Mitsubishi electric mini split system, you'll get a 12-year warranty. Or install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that captures and destroys biological contaminants to improve air quality. M&S Air Conditioning have been providing prompt, honest, and reliable service for over 30 years. Schedule service or call to get more info on our preventative maintenance plans. Call 954-421-3680 or visit ac-florida.com.
These are unprecedented times, challenging how the YMCA works to strengthen community as we have for nearly 170 years. But we've always found ways to help people and communities in times of crisis. Right now, Ys across the country are providing emergency childcare, shelter, food programs, and outreach to seniors, but we can't do it alone. Whether you're connected to the Y or have a fond Y memory, we need you to stay with us. Reach out to your local Y today and stay with us for a better us.
When you're looking for curtains and blinds to create a space of your own, look no further than Bandalux. Bandalux can tailor your space to your needs. Create the atmosphere and ambiance you desire. We invite you to discover it at Bandalux.com. Explore our new solar control systems, range of sustainable fabrics, and energy-efficient solutions that can improve your well-being and quality of life. Witness Bandalux Beauty. Go to Bandalux.com or follow them on Instagram at Bandalux_official. For a personal experience, A Shade Above Window Fashions in Davie and Sunrise is an official Bandalux partner.
When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than the roof above the people you love. At Onside Radio, we recommend Chase Roofing and Contracting. At ChaseRoofing.com, they care about the customer. Chase Roofing provides reliable roof installation and repair without the destruction to our environment. Chase Roofing is powered by Tamara, who is owner and operated for 18 years. ChaseRoofing.com is Google top rated and a AAA standing with the Better Business Bureau. Open 24/7. Call them today. Trust ChaseRoofing.com to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family.
Welcome to the show with a couple of guys that love baseball more than life. It's pretty obvious these gents have no lives. Let's get back to Deep Into the Count. To step into the dugout, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. Here's Alex and Chase.
Wrapping up the first hour of today's Deep in the Count. Just Alex Aguirre here today. Christian Chase recovering from the second dose of the vaccine. But I'm holding it down here at OnSideRadio.com to finish off Saturday's programming. So closing out the first hour, I want to talk about the Marlins bullpen entering the dog days of summer. I saw a tweet earlier from Craig Mish, who covers the Marlins as well. He said the Marlins bullpen has been strong, outstanding, keeping them in every game. Is it possible that they'll have 7 guys throwing in 60 games this season? That's the pace. In 2019, they had 1 pitcher throw in 60. Can this continue? And then I'm looking at, the numbers right now, and they've been great for the Marlins, especially Yimi, 1.76 ERA. John Curtis, 2.33. Adam Simber, 2.95. Dylan Floro, extremely under the radar pickup in the offseason. Coming from the Dodgers, you want to ring with them. Was a key part of their bullpen. Huge pickup for the Marlins. He has a 1.02 ERA. Richard Blyer, he's kind of like the lefty specialist out of the bullpen. His ERA is a little bit up at 4.11, but he came up big in that home stand against the Milwaukee Brewers. Coming into the game, bases loaded, no outs, striking out the side. That's great to see, especially against right-handed hitters. They also have Ross Detweiler in the bullpen, another lefty, the veteran. He has a 2.57 ERA. And like I said, Jordan Holloway, 1.98 ERA. And he's been using little different roles here and there. But, so it's great to see this now because still early in the season, they're still fresh. But like Craig Mish said, they're on pace to have 7 pitchers in their bullpen throwing 60 games. That's a lot. That's very taxing to that bullpen. Can they withstand that? We have to wait and see. I'm sure the Marlins front office knew that. Like I said, they tried assembling this bullpen to complement the rotation. They're not going to have every pitcher go out and come out 7-8 innings every game. First off, that's not the style of the MLB anymore. It's very rare to see full 5-man rotation give you 5 or 6+ innings every time. No, you're going to have a lot more bullpen games, a lot more. Like yesterday, the bullpen was extremely effective against the Dodgers last night, holding their offense down. But can they be that effective in a lot more crucial games and in non-blowout games in July, in August? Hopefully the Marlins are still playing meaningful games in that part of the season. If they are, can they be able to contribute? That's just a wait and see, topic. We'll get more into that as we progress through the season, but that's going to be a huge question mark right now. As of now, it's viewed as a positive because they've been performing well. But there are, repercussions to it. There are aftermaths to these situations. And hopefully this aftermath ends well for the Marlins because the bullpen is such a huge, huge anchor for Major League Baseball teams in today's MLB. So that's going to close out the first hour of Deep in the Count. Leading off the second hour of Deep in the Count for today is Alex Carver from Fish on the Farm. You can follow Fish on the Farm on Twitter at Marlins Miners and fishonthefarm.com, where you get into plenty minor league baseball talk. Get to know what is the future of this team. Who is the future of this team? Who are the next guys coming up to lead this team, hopefully, to a World Series? And guys, don't forget that the Heat and NBA fans catch Ira Winderman here exclusively at OnsideRadio.com with our Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat reports. Catch Ira throughout the week at OnsideRadio.com, and when news breaks, basketball fans know Onside Radio is the place you get the insight you need.
Welcome to OnsideRadio.com. Broadcasting from South Florida to the world. No station in South Florida provides more live and local sports talk.
This is like rock and roll with no music.
Follow us on social media at Onside Radio. When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Hey, it's Toast. Last year when I had PGT custom windows and doors installed at my house by B&T Windows and Doors, I knew about the hurricane protection. What I didn't know? The silence. Oh my goodness, my house is so quiet now. One of those cars goes tearing down the street with the crazy loud muffler. Yeah, I don't hear it anymore. It's unbelievable. I didn't realize how noisy my house was beforehand. You've got to get PGT custom windows and doors installed in your pad today. Call B&T Windows and Doors, 954-233-0126. That's 954-233-0126.
Now that it's springtime, it's only getting hotter here in South Florida. Make sure your AC in your home or business is running smoothly by investing in a preventative maintenance plan from M&S Air Conditioning. And M&S is a Mitsubishi Diamond Elite contractor. When you purchase a new Mitsubishi electric mini split system, you'll get a 12-year warranty. Or install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that captures and destroys biological contaminants to improve air quality. M&S Air Conditioning have been providing prompt, honest, and reliable service for over 30 years. years. Schedule service or call to get more info on our preventative maintenance plans. Call 954-421-3680 or visit ac-florida.com.
OnsideRadio.com knows gamers need a home.
Can you dig it?
That's why for the next 60 seconds,
Can you count, suckers?
here's your Onside Radio E-Report with Toast.
Hoping to get a PS5 soon? Get ready to be disappointed. Sony alerted analysts that PS5s will remain scarce for consumers through 2022. That's 18 months. By that time, they'll be close to dropping PS6s. Obviously, the main reason for all of this, the continued shortage of key components, none more impactful than semiconductors. Sony only sold 7.8 million units in 2021, well below what they had anticipated. As a result, their stock has dropped more than 8% over the last few weeks, and with this news, might continue to drop for the foreseeable future as PS5 sales are held up by the supply chain. Happy gaming.
Stay in touch in the world of gaming with the Onside Radio E-Report. Onside Radio presents Deep Into the Count with Alex Aguirre and Christian Chase. From traditional to analytical, shifting to stealing, the boys talk about the All-American game through different lenses. To reach out to the show, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. Slide in by text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Let's get started with this week's edition of Deep Into the Count.
Play ball.
Hour number 2 of today's episode of Deep in the Count. I'm your host, Alex Aguirre, holding it down here at Onside Radio. Christian Chase is recovering from the second dose of the vaccine. We wish him speedy recovery. He's watching the YouTube. He's listening in. He's here with us. And who's also here with us is Alex Carver. Covers the Marlins minor league system for Fish on the Farm. You can follow them at Marlins Minors and fishonthefarm.com. Alex, from one Alex to another, how are you?
Doing great, Alex. Thanks for having me in, man. Appreciate it.
No, thank you for coming on. Christian, I know he's not here, like I said, but, he was looking forward to this. He's listening in, so, and I'm sure we'll love to have you on another time so we can get more minors talks. But before we get into the minor league system for the Marlins, I just want to get your quick perspective and your take on how the Marlins are doing in the major league squad. How are they doing as of now, in your opinion?
So it's been an up and down year for sure for the Marlins coming out of spring training, with all the injuries that have gone on, everything that's happening in the rotation where they're down to 3 guys now and they're having to piece it together. Hopefully they found a fourth, at least for the time being, with Cody Poteet. I thought he looked really good the other night and had a good first start in the minors. That was a guy that I kind of pinned as a call-up when the Marlins needed a plug. So he did well. Hopefully he gets another start during the Philadelphia series. But, yeah, I mean, it's been up and down for sure with everything that's happened with the rotation and injuries. So hopefully these guys are getting healthy. Hopefully they're going to be back. And, yeah, they've held their own in this division, though, and there's something to be said for that.
Absolutely. No, yeah, they're right there, only 4 games back in the division. It's a good sight to see that, like you said, these other players are stepping up. Jordan Holloway as well. But before we get into some other names, I want to talk about Cody for a second here because, and for me personally, going into the season in spring training, the Marlins pitching staff at the top and in the minor league system was their strength. It's they have a lot of talent in that department, but Cody was not a name, I guess, on my radar. Someone to be a contributor to this season. How did he come about with the Miami Marlins?
Yeah, so this is a guy that's been around the minor league system with the Marlins for a long time. He was drafted in 2015, so he's been here for a while. Stuck around through, obviously, the ownership change and everything else. So, obviously, Jeter and the guys and Sherman and they liked him. They liked what they saw, and they wanted to keep him around. K-Man comes in, same thing. He's still here. And now he's up with the Marlins. So, yeah, I mean, a long grind through the minors for that guy. He's from California. He went to UCLA. And then just a really long grind through the minors, the lost season included. but he's just a guy that's solid. He's been able to stay on the field. He put up over 100 innings in both 2018 and 2019.
Wow.
And he just gets the job done. I mean, he's got solid stuff. It's a 4-pitch mix. He's not a heralded guy, not a big time, arm that's going to really wow you and say, this is a ace guy or anything like that, but gets outs. His velo looked ticked up in that start that he had with the Marlins. I had him at 95 before, and now he's up to 97. So looks good, man. I really like his breaking stuff too. He didn't really have to use it a lot. He kind of lived off that fastball, right? And that start going to the opposite corner to his arm side, I should say, against a lot of left-handed hitters. So I thought it was a really good start, but I'd like to see more of his breaking stuff next time out because he has more pitches.
Yeah, 4-pitch guy, like you said. If you can live with that fastball, yeah, you can get away with it for a start or two. But yeah, you obviously want to use that breaking, use your other pitches to keep hitters off balance. And with Cody, he looked really solid in that start. Like you said, his velo was higher than usual. Does this put him, I guess, above the depth chart for other pitchers that are like fringe players in the minor league system making their appearances in Major League with the Marlins, like Nick Neidert, Daniel Castano? Is he above them now, do you think, after that start?
So I think it ticks him up for sure, being that he had such a successful outing in his Major League debut. I definitely think it ticks him up maybe over those guys as a right now guy, as a guy who is, not more polished, but just maybe more ready.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I think Neidert and Braxton Garrett and guys like that have a little bit better stuff. They're morely, they profile as better prospects in the long run than Cody Poteet. But I mean, Poteet just has the control and command right now, whereas Neidert really didn't. He was kind of struggling with that. He was also struggling with his mix. He wasn't really mixing in the changeup a lot in his starts, which is one of his best pitches. Kind of got away from it. He did admit that to us on one such media call. So, yeah, that's the reason that he's back down. They want to see him implement his mix a little bit more. So, yeah, I mean, a guy like that, I think he'll figure it out and be back eventually. Braxton Garrett, I just think he needs to, just iron out a couple command issues, especially early in counts. Hopefully he's doing that in the minors. He'll start tonight. We'll get another look. So, yeah, I mean, I think those guys will eventually be the long-term pieces. But for Cody right now, man, he's here. And, if he can get more to that mix of his pitches and utilize it a little bit more in his next start, it's a guy that could surprise as a guy that could contribute to the Marlins team this year. So I'm excited to see him again.
Perfect. I'm excited to see how he can improve from his first start, and in front of his family as well. It was a great story. And let's go into some, I guess, more headline prospects in the Marlins minor league system. Who's your favorite right now? Who do you think, okay, this guy is going to come up, and he's going to be instant fire, instant success, like whoever it is, a pitcher, position player? Who do you think is that next guy in that system?
Well, I don't think you can really argue right now. I think everybody around will tell you that it's got to be Jesus Sanchez. Jesus Sanchez missed all of spring training. He was supposed to take part in spring training, didn't get on the field due to an injury. He was actually a little late, I believe, getting going in minor league spring training. Mm-hmm. And now he's here in Jacksonville, and he's just the hottest player in minor league baseball. He leads all of minor league baseball in weighted runs created plus. He leads all of minor league baseball in batting average. He leads all of minor league baseball in OPS. And even though he missed a couple games, he's still leading all of minor league baseball in RBIs. So you can't argue against Jesus Sanchez and what he's doing to start the season. I think it's just a matter of when they're going to call him up. I mean, with what Garrett Cooper is doing, he's struggled a lot. Lewis Brinson, he was doing okay.
Yeah.
Looked like he was maybe going to get going a little bit, and now he has a finger issue. So, I mean, I think there's room right now for Jesus Sanchez to come up and contribute to this team. Will they do it? Remains to be seen. Hopefully they do, because Jesus definitely looks ready. So I would definitely say he's the top guy that right now, if he comes up, yeah, that's the guy we want to see.
Wow, that's really great insight, because Jesus Sanchez, that's we think of other players and like position players like JJ Bleday or maybe a Lewin Diaz. So that's a great sign, especially like you said, the Marlins offense in the major leagues at the major leagues right now, it's pretty shaky. And I get it. Lewis Brinson has been inconsistent. Garrett Cooper, his bat, like he's known for his bat. Defensively, it's not there. He's more of a first baseman. So I think Jesus Sanchez is an upgrade, obviously offensively and defensively as well.
Yeah, definitely. Struck down a guy at the plate too from a stationary position.
Nice.
Guy's got a can. Really, really good. I'm really excited to see him, and just his mindset. It looks like he's having a lot of fun on the field.
Great.
Whenever he gets on base, he does like a little dance. He had stated during spring training right before he got hurt that when he came up last year with the COVID situation, when he had to come up, he wasn't having a lot of fun. He kind of got away from having fun with the game. And that's kind of something you see organizational wide is they kind of preach, hey, go do your job, have fun doing your job. I think Jesus Sanchez is also showing that with the Shrimp. So, man, all around excited to see him, and I hope he comes up soon.
Speaking of fun and excitement and pretty much pure electricity, Jazz Chisholm, he's in his rehab now. He's in rehab starts, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
how's he doing? How's he doing down his rehab starts?
I mean, looks fine to me. I think he's got a couple home runs. He's got a stolen base. He's had like 4 stolen base chances or 3 stolen base chances. He's run the bases well. He's sliding. I think the hamstring's 100%, and I think that first game of the Philadelphia series he's going to be back, man.
Nice. That's awesome. We were talking about that earlier in the hour as well of, getting these key guys back, Marte, Jazz. That's a 1-2 punch right there in the lineup. You think about it. So that's a great sign to see that he'll be back for Philadelphia. And speaking of the Phillies and speaking of minor leagues players for the Marlins, Sixto Sanchez, a former prospect for the Phillies. Obviously now with the Marlins, any timetable on when you think he'll be back with the big team?
And that's in terms of, I'm sorry.
It's Sixto Sanchez and of him starting for the Marlins and
Sixto.
Yeah.
So Sixto is looking. As far as I've heard, the last update we got from the team is that he's still not throwing any bullpens. He's still not throwing any lives.
Okay.
So I don't know if that started since that update, but he still needs to get through that, and he'll still need to get through at least a couple of minor league rehab starts. So I think you're looking. I think the word from Kim Ang, this is coming straight from her, is she put it as sometime in June, and I think that's a quote. So I think the hope when he went down was beginning of June. I think it's more looking now. It may be middle of June that we see him back, and then we got to see where the stuff is too. Is he immediately ready to come up to the majors? He's definitely going to get at least 2, probably 3 minor league starts in, and then see where he's at with the stuff. If he is where he was in spring training, could be there pretty quickly. So I would say probably middle of June for Sixto Sanchez.
Well, okay, so not too far away. Like we were talking earlier. Like the Marlins do have a couple pieces like Cody, Castano, Nider. They can fill that gap. They can hold it down, and they've shown that they're able to contribute in big ways. I want to ask you as well about other prospects that we really haven't talked about, and somebody on the YouTube stream last week in the show asked about this prospect, and I didn't want to give him any wrong answers. So thank God you're here this week, and I want to ask you about Edward Cabrera. We had a couple listeners ask about him. What's going on with Edward?
Yeah, so Eddie is a little bit behind Sixto, I believe. I think the last word that we had was that he still wasn't doing long toss, or that he just started his long toss, and that was a couple weeks ago. So I think he's a little bit behind on in terms of where he is compared to Sixto Sanchez. So I would say right now, if you wanted me to put a timetable to it,
sure.
Probably early July is when you could see him with the Marlins. Obviously, it's another guy who's going to get some rehab starts in with minors, and then he's still got to get to his lives and his pen. So probably beginning of July for Eddie.
Yeah, it's good. It's another big arm. Braxton Garrett. Like I'm excited just hearing these names. To think about the potential that this rotation can have, in just a couple of years. And somebody that came up and was, I think, drafted by the Marlins. I believe Jorge Guzman. He was a starter at first. I think they've been working him as a closer into the bullpen. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Alex. What's going on with Jorge? What's his timetable? Because Yimi Garcia has been phenomenal right now as the closer for the Marlins, but I feel like down the line, I think Jorge Guzman has closer type stuff.
Yeah, so I definitely agree with you, Alex. George is a guy that the Marlins did want to eventually have as a starter. He's had a lot of problems with the arm injuries. He does have that really, really fiery velo with a fastball, but not too many breaking pitches. I mean, he has a little bit of a breaking pitch, and it's just one breaking pitch. So I think the overwhelming majority, including me, would tell you that this is a bullpen ceiling. And it does have late release, high leverage ability. I just think he needs to kind of work out the breaking pitch a little bit more, because you can't just live off of a fastball. I don't care if you're throwing at 102. You need another pitch to get another look. So, if he can come back and get on the field and show a little bit more improvement to that one breaking pitch he has, I think it's a changeup. maybe kind of a slider, maybe kind of a combo of both. They kind of blend into each other. He was trying to throw both at one point. I think now it's just one pitch. So yeah, I mean it's a guy that it definitely is going to be bullpen ceiling. When is he back? He was rehabbing all through spring training, and then he had a setback, and now he's on the 60-day disabled list. So I would say probably not anytime soon.
Right.
Definitely so in Eddie. But yeah, bullpen ceiling.
Bullpen ceiling. Well, it's good though. You know, you can never more the better. And like I was telling Christian, my co-host a couple of episodes ago, the amount of depth that it's such a positive sign for so many different reasons, pitching wise, because everyone needs pitching in Major League Baseball, no matter what. And the Marlins have a lot of it, and what they don't have a lot of is offense. So if you can build a core of quality pitchers with your system, maybe you can package some of these for a quality bat. Now I don't want to predict the future for these young guys because they're still working at it, but like business is business sometimes, and I feel like that can be another way that this front office can be maneuvering to improve this roster at the major league level.
Yeah, I mean it's something to be discussed for sure, and you got the financial situation that goes into it as well, right? I think the Marlins will definitely want to try to bring back Starling Marte.
Yes.
But then what do you do about Brian Anderson? What do you do about Sandy Alcantara? So, yeah, I mean, obviously they have the new money with the TV deal and the naming rights, so that will go into it. But at some point, do you say, okay, am I going to deal some of my minor league depth, maybe a couple starting pitchers because we have a lot, maybe an outfielder because we have a lot of those, to get something that we need to plug a hole at the major league level, even with the new money? It's something that could happen for sure. Again, I do think they will definitely want to bring back Starling Marte after this season. And then you have question marks surrounding the other guys that you may want to sign long term. So it's something that I'm sure they will discuss. If you want to put a who to it, I mean, they weren't willing to part with Peyton Burdick in the offseason. There were conversations surrounding him and bringing in Wilson Contreras, and the Marlins balked on it because of Peyton Burdick. So, yeah, that's a guy who I don't think that they want to trade unless they get overwhelmed by something, which I don't think is going to happen. So, yeah, there's a couple pieces, including Burdick, Bleday, guys that they're just not going to trade. But maybe they dive into the depth, maybe a Gerard Encarnacion, guys like that, the depthier guys that, have good tools, but they may not be, as highly heralded of prospects as the standout guys that they really want to hold on to. So could you see it at some point? Yes. I don't think that you'll see anything like that this season. I think maybe in the offseason we could see them deal from the depth. But, yeah, in terms of deadline deals, I really don't see them dealing prospects at the deadline, if you ask me right now.
And I agree with you in a sense. Maybe not for now. Let's hold off on that for a bit, especially guys like Bleday. I had no idea about Peyton and the Wilson Contreras deal. That's incredible insight, and we thank you for that. And you can catch Alex Carver and his work on Fish on the Farm, Twitter at Marlins Miners, and on fishatthefarm.com. You can also follow Alex at Hammerhead33065. I see what you did there with that Twitter handle, Alex. Alex, it's been awesome. It's been a great segment. We would love to have you on again, hopefully with Christian as well. Thank you for coming on the show, my man. You have a great day.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. Thanks for having me, and enjoy the games. Let's go fish.
Let's go fish. What a great segment. I would love to have Alex on. I'm sure Christian and Alex Carver, and just I can see those two guys just going at it, talking a lot of baseball. We'd love to have him back again. And guys, don't forget that every day at Onside Radio, our hosts sit down at the round table to tackle the most important local or national sports headlines. The round table is podcasted daily. Search Onside Radio on all platforms. Subscribe, rate, and review to listen to all kinds of station segments. OnsideRadio.com is the home for South Florida sports.
Remember to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Deep into the Count with Alex Aguirre and Christian Chase.
When you want a perfectly straight smile without braces, you can count on MoodyAsDental.com. A stunning smile is within reach. Learn more about Invisalign. Find out why so many trust the Moody Ass family. Dr. Moody Ass is an inventor and has several patents on innovative surgical instruments that are used around the world. Experience a family environment and trust on a worldwide level. From implants to crowns to a beautiful Invisalign smile. Call 305-821-0231. That's 305-821-0231. Or go to the website at MoodyAsDental.com.
If you're looking for a change from the everyday restaurant, then you need to get to Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach. Brats, Wiener Schnitzel, homemade potato pancakes, pretzels with mustard, and lots of German beer. And with daily specials, there is something for everyone. If you're up for a challenge, you should take their famous boot tour. Finish 30 boots of different varieties of German beer, and you'll receive half price on their beer for life. And you'll get to take home your own boot and Checkers Old Munchin t-shirt. They also have outdoor seating available in their new beer garden with live music, as well as carry-out, curbside pickup, and delivery. So, for the finest German food and beer, get over to 2209 East Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Checkers Old Munchin Restaurant, or call them for reservations at 954-785-7565. That's 954-785-7565. We'll see you at Zagat-rated Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach.
Are you ready?
Higuain had a window of illusion here for Morgan. In for some strike. It's into the top corner. And Lewis Morgan has got a brace again.
The passion.
Goal! Captain Morgan! What a shot! What a blood! What a vessel!
Onside Radio is prepared for another Inter Miami CF campaign. Catch the games. Go to our website and download the apps. On your home for La Rosa Negra, OnsideRadio.com.
Now that it's springtime, it's only getting hotter here in South Florida. Make sure your AC in your home or business is running smoothly by investing in a preventative maintenance plan from M&S Air Conditioning. And M&S is a Mitsubishi Diamond Elite contractor. When you purchase a new Mitsubishi electric mini split system, you'll get a 12-year warranty. Or install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that captures and destroys biological contaminants to improve air quality. M&S Air Conditioning have been providing prompt, honest, and reliable service for over 30 years. Schedule service or call to get more info on our preventative maintenance plans. Call 954-421-3680 or visit ac-florida.com.
He has an overbite that makes him look like a cartoon character, a slightly crooked eye, and an uncommonly wrinkly neck. In the right light, he can look a little like a garden gnome, and he'll wear a bow tie just because. Sure, you might call him a little quirky, but that's exactly what makes him so perfect. Tuna is a 3-year-old Chihuahua Dachshund mix with more than 700,000 followers on Instagram, and it all started because he was adopted. You can't buy a best friend like Tuna, but you can adopt one. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Let's step back into the batter's box with Alex and Christian. To reach out to the guys, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. Back into deep into the count on OnsideRadio.com.
Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. Suffocation, no breathing, don't give a
We're back deep in the count. Hour number 2. What a great way to start the hour. Great segment with Alex Carver from Fish on the Farm at Marlins Miners, fishandthefarm.com. Great stuff. I learned a lot. I had no idea about the Wilson Contreras deal. I knew the Marlins were interested in Contreras, but I didn't know why they backed out on that. So that was great insight. So much knowledge on the minor league system. And like I said, guys, the future is very bright with this team. A lot of good arms. Got some good position players as well. Blade, now Jesus Sanchez. That's awesome. That's awesome. And guys, Onside Radio, there's a ton of options to listen to us with Podbean, Radio.net, Radio FM, MyTuner Radio, Simple Radio, even Zeno Radio. So Big O's casting a wide net to give you guys amazing content on South Florida sports. It's awesome. And now we're going to get into some general MLB talk about the faces of each league. Now, I'm not talking about MVP. This could be the MVP. But I'm talking about faces. I'm talking about recognizable players. Obviously, we have Ohtani and Trout on the same team in the American League. Christian chases a couple of his suggestions as well for the American. Who's the face of the American League? Some good takes, actually, by Christian. Byron Buxton, center fielder for the Minnesota Twins. Phenomenal year. Phenomenal year. Good for him. Twins are always have been really competitive the past couple of years. Just can't get over the hump. There's been a storyline since the early 2000s, ever since the turn of the century. And he's just, and the Twins are just, they're right there. They're a good team. Solid team. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Christian Chase. It's another great take by him. You know, and I see where Christian's going at with these picks. His final pick for face of the American League is Jose Ramirez, the third baseman for the Cleveland Indians. He's been around for a while. Was on that team, on that Cleveland Indians team in 2016 when they made the World Series and lost to the Chicago Cubs. And let's go into the YouTube chat real quick. We have Anthony Manzano. He says, "Hi, Alex. Alex, why did the Marlins until recently struggle drafting offensive players and were more successful drafting pitchers? Is it because the stadium we plan benefits pitchers more?" I mean, I don't think the Marlins built the stadium to say, okay, like screw the hitters, let's benefit the pitchers. No. It just so happens like that. You know, baseball fields come in all different shapes and sizes, and that's the cool different element to baseball. That's not everything's the same size like in basketball and football. Field's the same size. Basketball, the hoop is still 10 feet. It's the same everywhere you go. In baseball, you got different dimensions. You got different you got different advantages if you're a pitcher or you're a hitter. Think of Yankee Stadium. That little poke in right field. You don't need much to take it out, even if you're a right-handed hitter. So, you know, and for the first part of your question, that was, you know, about the stadium, but the first part of your question, drafting is hard, man, in any sport. And in baseball, it's even, I think, more rigorous because you got to go through a lot more hoops. You got to go through the minor league system. You don't see high school guys, you know, like 17-year-olds just making their major league debut. Like Juan Soto making his debut at 19 years old. That doesn't happen a lot. That doesn't happen a lot at all. Someone making their debut at 20 years old, it's a big deal still. You got to go through a lot to make the majors. It's hard to draft. And you can draft a stud out of high school, and if they don't pan out in the minors, it happens. Or injuries. That happens all the time. We just talked about it with Alex Carver. With Jorge Guzman, Edward Cabrera. Good quality arms that unfortunately in the beginning of the season in spring training, they got hurt. And they're still in the minors. That setback, that puts them behind the 8 ball in a way. They go 2 steps forward, 5 steps back with this injury in a way. So it's hard to evaluate talent, and then you have to somewhat hope that everything goes well from the moment you draft that player and sign that player to make their major league debut. Hopefully, fingers crossed, because at that point it's all up in the air. It's up to the player. At that point, after that. So that's a great question, Anthony. I loved it. You know, that's some good, Marlins talk right there. And if you want some more insight on the drafting process for the Marlins, listen to our interview with Alex Carver. It'll be posted soon. And you'll get plenty of insight on what's going on right now with the future of the team. And let me tell you, Anthony, I think the future is very bright, extremely bright for this team. Now, going back to the faces of the league, like I said, I gave you some picks of the faces of the American League: Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, Byron Buxton, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Jose Ramirez. Let's go to the National League. Now, I'm not saying these are the MVPs. They could be potential candidates, yeah. But I'm talking about when you think of the National League, when you think of the American League, you got to name me 5 players, a handful of players, 3 players, something like that. These are the players that pop in the minds for Christian and I. For the National League, obviously, Ronald Acuna Jr. He's a firecracker of a player. Amazing. Great for the league. I hate what he does against the Marlins, though. Hate it. But it's great for the league. He's so good. Fiery attitude. Plays with a lot of passion. You know, it attracts a lot of people. It rubs off people, and it can affect your team in a positive way to, grab that energy as well. Fernando Tatis Jr., another one. The league is in really good hands if all goes well health-wise with Tatis. He just got hurt. No, I'm sorry. Tatis got COVID. Excuse me. He's not hurt. Tatis Jr. from the San Diego Padres, slick shortstop, incredible defense, great hitter, so much pop in his bat, so much power. And another pick, but this time on the pitching side, Jacob deGrom. He's been outstanding past few years. Well, his whole career, lights out. And it seems like his fastball just gets harder and harder every year. Sliders 95 miles an hour practically. It's insane. It's the run support, man. That run support, it's brutal. And as Marlins fans, we are seeing that with Pablo and Sandy in a way. Like obviously last night's start was a scratch, but that's been a bit of a theme with the Marlins pitching. Pablo Lopez, Trevor Rogers, these guys their ERAs are under 2, below 3. They need some more run support. Get some more wins on that stat sheet instead of no decisions. So Jacob deGrom is a great pick, excuse me, for the face of the National League. And in terms of face of baseball as well, when you think of pitchers, Max Scherzer is another one. He's just getting up there in age. I'm not saying that affects his game. I'm saying the age affects him in terms of popularity, especially for younger fans. I grew up with Max Scherzer dominating in Detroit and then taking that to Washington. So, those are Christian and my picks for the faces of the American League and National League. Thank you, Anthony, for that input on the YouTube chat. We appreciate it. And guys, don't forget, take Onside Radio everywhere you go with the radio.net app. Download the free app and listen to your favorite OnsideRadio.com host. Go to your website, OnsideRadio.com, and download radio.net. Then search Onside Radio, South Florida's sports station.
Remember to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Deep into the Count with Alex Aguirre and Christian Chase.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Hey, what's up? It's Toast, and I've been telling you guys all about my buddies over at B&T Windows and Doors. And some of you said, hey, listen, Toast, I'd love to get PGT custom windows and doors installed, but funds are a little tight right now. No problem, bro. Y Green. You can finance it with B&T Windows and Doors through Y Green, so you can still get your PGT custom windows and doors installed. And yeah, you're not going to have to put anything down. It's awesome. That's the way I got mine installed. Call B&T Windows and Doors today. They'll tell you all about Y Green and how to finance your windows. 954-233-0126. That's 954-233-0126.
Inter Miami CF fans, join us at our new home this season for all away games as we broadcast live at Dangerous Minds Brewing Company, 1901 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach. Join Big O and Alex Dono for the live pregame, halftime, and postgame shows while we watch the games. Enjoy meticulously brewed beer on site, delicious artisanal pizzas, live music, and giveaways. So, the new home for all Inter Miami road games is at Dangerous Minds Brewing Company at the Pompano City Mall, where they'll feature all the Inter Miami games. Follow them on Twitter at Dangerous Minds B and Facebook and Instagram at Dangerous Minds Brewing, and visit them at dangerousmindsbrewing.com.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
Every 2 minutes, a woman in the U.S. is diagnosed with breast cancer. And in that split second, her life changes forever. The toll of breast cancer is great. The need to support those who are battling the disease today is even greater. We're fighting alongside patients because we know one moment can change a lifetime. United by hope, we can end breast cancer. Join our fight. Save lives.
When you're looking to add that extra style and protection for your home or business, visit A Shade Above Window Fashions in Davie or Sunrise, where plantation shutters are a major part of our business, and they look great in any home. We have them in white, stained colors, and wood tones. We can even motorize your shutters like the one in the OnSideRadio.com studio. A Shade Above Window Fashions, 954-434-4774. That's 954-434-4774. Love the space you live in. A Shade Above Window Fashions.
Join the Inter Miami family in 2021 by becoming a 2021 season ticket member. Enjoy enhanced access benefits and pricing not available to general fans. Visit intermiamicf.com/tickets for more information.
Welcome back to Deep Into the Count. To reach out to the boys, send a text to 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Alex and Christian.
And we're back here deep in the count. Third segment here in hour 2 of today's show. One of my favorite movies of all time is The Dark Knight Rises. One of my favorite movies. Matt Harvey, The Dark Knight, is he rising again? Hopefully. I'm not saying this is a renaissance year, this is an all-star year for Matt Harvey, but he was one of my favorite pitchers when he broke into the league in 2012. He's only a one-time all-star. I get it. His numbers are not going to come out and like blow anyone's mind. Like, wow, this guy's amazing. No. This guy's struggled with a lot of injury. It's kind of like a comeback for him in a way. At 32 years old, there's still some fight left. So there's still gas left in that tank. But he came out on fire. And that Mets rotation, the potential. That's why I'm saying baseball's so hard. Baseball's so hard. The drafting, they got it right. They got the drafting right, the Mets. Matt Harvey, Steven Matz, Noah Syndergaard, and Jacob deGrom. Before Jacob deGrom is the multiple Cy Young Award winner, like ERA under 2. Like before that. And still, and it was headlined by Matt Harvey. He was the Dark Knight. He helped that team make the World Series in 2015. He went 13-8 with a 2.71 ERA. And then after that, that's when things started going downhill. In 2016, 4-10 with a 4.86 ERA. 2017, 6.70 ERA. And then in 2018, he was gone. Mets released him, signed by Cincinnati, went 7-7 with a 4.50 ERA. So respectable-ish. That's when the question marks started coming up. Is Matt Harvey out of the league? Is he gone? Like, this is it for him. Because in 2019, with the Angels, now he's developing that journeyman reputation, in the sense that he's going to bounce around wherever he just can get a job, and it's such a sad thing to see, especially with like so much hype and fire coming out of that right arm when he first broke into the league. So in 2019, he went 3-5 with a 7.09 ERA. Didn't cut it with the Angels. Bye-bye. 2020 with the Royals. Ugh. I know it was a weird year. Super hard to gauge the talent with young or even established veterans. Because just, in 60 games, it's hard to find your groove. That's why, the season's so long, because you can find your stride later on. And in 2020, for the Royals, he went 0-3 with 11.57 ERA. So that's when the red flags, they've been up, but that's when they're all thrown all over the place. The alarms are going off. Is Matt Harvey done? Is he washed out? Is his career over? The Baltimore Orioles took a chance on him. He's 3-3 with a 4.81 ERA. Respectable. Somewhat respectable. Like I said, he's not making a renaissance. He's not, he's not going to be probably another all-star again, but it's okay. It's just a good sign to see. Now let's go to the chat room here. We have Stephen Cheney chiming in. He says, where do you rate Rafael Devers as young talent? Great question. I rate him, I guess, in that second tier of young talent. We were talking about Tatis Jr. Yeah, like you said, Stephen, he has the best bat flips. I agree. He is number one in bat flips. I agree with that. But Devers, I give him, in that second tier, Tatis, he's that for young talent. He's that guy. Devers, he's great as well. I mean, the Red Sox, if you're on that topic, they have another young, exciting player in Verdugo. They got him from the Dodgers in the Mookie Betts deal. So, and he says, don't sleep on a Chris Sale comeback. Well, speaking of comebacks, yeah, that's a good point. It's another good pitcher right there. Chris Sale. He hasn't had the big downfall and decline as Matt Harvey. But it's great to see, Chris Sale back on the mound. He's so intimidating. Side-winding left-hander, Randy Johnson-esque. I know he's not as tall as Randy Johnson. Randy Johnson was a nightmare of a pitcher. But yeah, Chris Sale's great for the game. And can you imagine now? Red Sox getting Chris Sale back? What, 22-14 is a record? And the power rankings, best team in baseball. They're doing it all. So it's good for you, Stephen Cheney, with your Red Sox. Rafael Devers, he's one of the best in terms of young talent. He's got to get a little better with his glove, I will say that. His defense is a little shaky at some point, especially for the hot corner. He's got a good arm. He can field. He can make the throw. That's not a concern. And, but yeah, I Tatis Jr., I think it's just more up there for me. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. as well. I think he's above Devers. Acuna as well. In terms of young talent, they're in that first tier. Devers, second, around there. Maybe third, not even. No, I won't bash you like that, Steven. I won't do that. Second tier is good with me. But yeah, the Red Sox, they're on point. 22-14. Another team that's the Marlins have pretty familiar with this season and have had somewhat success is the Milwaukee Brewers. And speaking of what we harped on in the first hour, we're not at full strength. Now that's a squad, that's playing without Christian Yelich right now, and they're still in the top 10, top 15 in the power rankings, and they're still in the first tier of teams, I would say, in terms of talent, especially that pitching rotation. Corbin Burns, he's been phenomenal. He got a little roughed up by the Marlins, surprisingly. But other than that, he's been great. Lineup's been holding it down. Avisail Garcia's, they got him recently from Tampa Bay. The Brewers, it's a good team. And like I said, it's still too early in the season to say, well, the Brewers are out of it. They can't recuperate for this because they have enough talent coming in and at the major league level at the moment to kind of withstand it. It's not the opposite, but a little bit away from what the Marlins are at right now. The Marlins, from a pitching perspective, have the talent to withstand, the rougher games, the rougher days of the season until their more established pitchers, their better pitchers come back. But the problem is with the Marlins, they're position players. They're not holding it down. They're not, I guess, getting the baton and running with it. They're just dropping the baton. And that's what separates the good teams from the great teams, the 500 teams from the playoff teams. Being a complete team from the first man to the 26th man now. Not 25 anymore. It's all one team. And it's a big cliche because you hear it every time with championship teams, we're one team, we're a unit. But that's how it is. Especially in baseball. You need everybody, all hands on deck. That's just the way it is. And I'm happy for Matt Harvey right now. The Dark Knight, I'm not going to say he's rising, but he's floating. He's getting up there. And great for Baltimore as well. I get it. There's not much going for them this season. But they took a chance on Felix Hernandez as well last season, 2020, and then I think he opted out. So that's good for Matt Harvey. And think about this. It just shocks me how baseball can bring you up so fast and tear you down so quick. 2012 he came up. By 2016 it was all gone. Not all gone, but the end was in its sight for Matt Harvey. And after coming out of the gate, All-Star 2013, 9-5, 2.27 ERA, he was out in 2014, and maybe that's where things altered a bit for him. Just, injuries, like I said, it can happen to you in the minors and derail your career, and it can happen in the majors and derail your career. That's just part of the game. Matt Harvey, I think, he's not done. I think he's going to be probably a journeyman and probably bouncing around these teams that just need a filler, a fourth man, a fifth man just to go out there and play. And if he can pitch at an effective level as a fourth or fifth man in rotation, then at the end of the day he can say I had a major league career and I made it through. I battled through. Matt Harvey is just another tale in sports of the highs and lows. How quickly it can come up for you and how great it can be, and then how quick it can all come crumbling down. And sometimes not even for your own fault. That's just the way it is. Sports is like that. It's tough, but you know what? I'm rooting for Matt Harvey. I love comeback stories. It's great. And I'm rooting for him all the way. Underdog stories for the win. Guys, Miami Dolphins fans can always count on the best coverage at OnSideRadio.com. Every week, keep up with your favorite team as Dolphins writer Omar Kelly joins us with exclusive reports when news breaks. Catch the EJDConstruction.com Miami Dolphins report on the home for Dolphins fans everywhere, OnSideRadio.com.
Remember to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Deep into the Count with Alex Aguirre and Christian Chase.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
When you want a perfectly straight smile without braces, you can count on MoodyAsDental.com. A stunning smile is within reach. Learn more about Invisalign. Find out why so many trust the Moody Ass family. Dr. Moody Ass is an inventor and has several patents on innovative surgical instruments that are used around the world. Experience a family environment and trust on a worldwide level. From implants to crowns to a beautiful Invisalign smile. Call 305-821-0231. That's 305-821-0231. Or go to the website at MoodyAsDental.com.
Hey, what's up? It's Toast. May is here, which means hurricane season right around the corner. You need to get PGT custom windows and doors installed in your house so that you're fully protected when we get a big storm coming on through. For those windows, only one place to call. My buddies at B&T Windows and Doors. They've been doing it in South Florida for decades, and they will set you up with the best of the business. PGT Custom Windows and Doors. 954-233-0126. That's 954-233-0126 for B&T Windows and Doors.
When you want local sports, 1260 WLESPN.
We're live and local.
Yes, what she said.
Well, it's what they wrote.
Look at it this way, honey.
Oh, no. Here we go.
At some point, this was all live, and wherever it came from, it was local there.
You get that look whenever you stretch the truth or when you need your laxative.
Ain't it awful? South Florida's choice for sports talk. OnSideRadio.com.
Now that it's springtime, it's only getting hotter here in South Florida. Make sure your AC in your home or business is running smoothly by investing in a preventative maintenance plan from M&S Air Conditioning. And M&S is a Mitsubishi Diamond Elite contractor. When you purchase a new Mitsubishi electric mini split system, you'll get a 12-year warranty. Or install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that captures and destroys biological contaminants to improve air quality. M&S Air Conditioning have been providing prompt, honest, and reliable service for over 30 years. Schedule service or call to get more info on our preventative maintenance plans. Call 954-421-3680 or visit ac-florida.com.
These are unprecedented times. Challenging how the YMCA works to strengthen community as we have for nearly 170 years. But we've always found ways to help people and communities in times of crisis. Right now, Ys across the country are providing emergency childcare, shelter, food programs, and outreach to seniors, but we can't do it alone. Whether you're connected to the Y or have a fond Y memory, we need you to stay with us. Reach out to your local Y today and stay with us for a better us.
When you're looking for curtains and blinds to create a space of your own, look no further than Bandalux. Bandalux can tailor your space to your needs. Create the atmosphere and ambiance you desire. We invite you to discover it at Bandalux.com. Explore our new solar control systems, range of sustainable fabrics, and energy-efficient solutions that can improve your well-being and quality of life. Witness Bandalux Beauty. Go to Bandalux.com or follow them on Instagram at Bandalux_official. For a personal experience, A Shade Above Window Fashions in Davie and Sunrise is an official Bandalux partner.
When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than the roof above the people you love. At Onside Radio, we recommend Chase Roofing and Contracting. At ChaseRoofing.com, they care about the customer. Chase Roofing provides reliable roof installation and repair without the destruction to our environment. Chase Roofing is powered by Tamara, who is owner and operated for 18 years. ChaseRoofing.com is Google top rated and a AAA standing with the Better Business Bureau. Open 24/7. Call them today. Trust ChaseRoofing.com to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family.
Welcome to the show with a couple of guys that love baseball more than life. It's pretty obvious these gents have no lives. Let's get back to Deep Into the Count. To step into the dugout, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. Here's Alex and Chase.
All right, wrapping it up here. Saturday's programming at OnSiteRadio.com. It's been a great episode of Deep in the Count. Looking forward to next weekend, though, when we're back at full strength with Chris and Chase co-hosting here with me. And just a preview for the rest of the show. Guys, every day at Onsite Radio, we have a Marlins Minute. Christian and I, we take turns every week, and we give our daily Marlins Minute and it's a recap of what's going on with the team, what's next for them. So you can listen to it. Pretty much it airs every hour with the Panthers Minute, Inter Miami CF Minute, our E-Games Minute. Big O's just trying to cover all the circles here at OnsideRadio.com. So it's been fun. The Marlins, like I said, and we talked about it a bit earlier, their path up ahead is a bit difficult. 2 more games against the Dodgers, and then you got 3 games against the Phillies, and then 3 more games against the Mets. But their Marlins road trip ends in Philadelphia. They come back home to face the Mets. But that right there, you're facing the champs and the top 2 teams in your division. When we come back for next week, though, we're going to, this is going to be a big week in between. It's going to be a massive week in between because we're going to compare how this team held up against the Dodgers and the top 2 teams in the division. So, like I said, it's going to be a big measuring stick. It's going to be a big way to analyze what this team is made out of. Am I saying that this is going to determine their season? Absolutely not. No way. No way. I don't think at all it's gonna ruin their season. Because this team, and the reason why I feel that way is because this team has shown already that they can be competitive. They can bounce back quick from tough losses. They showed a little bit of that as well last season when they got blown out by the Atlanta Braves, like that random football type of a game, 29-9 or something like that. They came back out and won after getting embarrassed like that. Embarrassed. 20 runs. You lost by 20 runs. You come back and you beat the team, the best team in the division. That type of feel, that type of atmosphere is going on again this season. The only thing now is, or the only thing that we can question is now, that they can contain and sustain that resiliency for 162 games, not 60 games. So I'm wearing this hat right here. You can see on the YouTube live stream, it says 2020 postseason. I would like to be wearing another one of these this season. And the way things are going, things are pretty tight right now. 4 games back in the NL East. Phillies are half a game back of the Mets, who lead the division. They played a few less games. They still have a winning record at 18-14, but they played a few less games because they had a bit of a COVID outbreak, COVID scare. And speaking of COVID scares as well, the Yankees. I'm Stephen Chaney. As a Red Sox fan, I'm sure you're not thrilled about it, but it's just that something with the rivalry with the Red Sox and Yankees. The Yankees, and their coaching staff, they had 7 positive COVID-19 cases. So, we will hope everything goes well with the Yankees and doesn't spread. Able to contain it. The contact tracing works well. So hope it all goes well for the Yankees, And these have been kind of up and down. So a lot of drama always with the Yankees. I've always noticed that. It's never, in my opinion, it doesn't look fun sometimes to play for the Yankees. It seems like a lot of pressure. But some players rise to that, and some players don't. That's why it's tough to play in New York. Even for the Mets, it's tough to play in those type of cities when you hear and you feel that type of hate with the fans. And hopefully we get fans soon. Or not like Texas level yet, but we get fans soon in stadiums. And speaking of fans in stadiums, Inter Miami is going to have full capacity on May 29th for their game. So that's awesome. Guys, it's been an amazing show. A lot of Marlins talk. They're hanging in there. Great segment, great interview with Alex from Fish on the Farm. You can follow them at Marlins Miners and fishonthefarm.com. It's been great. A lot of Marlins insight, a lot of minor league insight. And guys, don't forget, Inter Miami CF fans, join us for every road game as we broadcast live from Dangerous Minds Brewing Company, 1901 North Federal Highway in Pompano. Join Big O and Alex Dono. Enjoy the delicious food and incredible house drafts and giveaways. Inter Miami CF fans, your new home for every road game is Dangerous Minds Brewing Company in Pompano. Follow them on Twitter at Dangerous Minds B and Instagram at Dangerous Minds Brewing. Have a great weekend, guys. Take care.
I'm so happy, 'cause today found my friends are in my head. I'm so ugly, that's okay, 'cause so are you.
Welcome to OnsideRadio.com. Broadcasting from South Florida to the world. No station in South Florida provides more live and local sports talk.
This is like rock and roll with no music.
Follow us on social media at Onside Radio.
ADHD. It's the child who can't pay attention or sit still in school, right? The answer may be yes. Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, or ADHD, can be complicated and it can last a lifetime. Living with a condition can sometimes be a challenge. It may take years to accept a formal diagnosis, and it's not always easy to find the right treatment plan. Did you know that up to 75% of children and adolescents with ADHD have at least one additional mental health condition that also requires a comprehensive approach to treatment? ADHD guidelines were recently updated to reflect the need to screen for associated disorders. Be sure to talk with your child's doctor about proper screening and visit more2adhd.com for additional information. That's more2adhd.com. This message has been brought to you in partnership with ADA, ACO, and CHAD.
When you want a perfectly straight smile without braces, you can count on MoodyAsDental.com. A stunning smile is within reach. Learn more about Invisalign. Find out why so many trust the Moody-Ass family. Dr. Moody-Ass is an inventor and has several patents on innovative surgical instruments that are used around the world. Experience a family environment and trust on a worldwide level. From implants to crowns to a beautiful Invisalign smile. Call 305-821-0231. That's 305-821-0231. Or go to the website at MoodyAsDental.com.
These are unprecedented times, challenging how the YMCA works to strengthen community as we have for nearly 170 years. But we've always found ways to help people and communities in times of crisis. Right now, Ys across the country are providing emergency childcare, shelter, food programs, and outreach to seniors. But we can't do it alone. Whether you're connected to the Y or have a fond Y memory, we need you to stay with us. Reach out to your local Y today and stay with us for a better us.
Now that it's springtime, it's only getting hotter here in South Florida. Make sure your AC in your home or business is running smoothly by investing in a preventative maintenance plan from M&S Air Conditioning. And M&S is a Mitsubishi Diamond Elite contractor. When you purchase a new Mitsubishi electric mini split system, you'll get a 12-year warranty. Or install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that captures and destroys biological contaminants to improve air quality. M&S Air Conditioning have been providing prompt, honest, and reliable service for over 30 years. Schedule service or call to get more info on our preventative maintenance plans. Call 954-421-3680 or visit ac-florida.com.
Inter Miami CF fans, join us at our new home this season for all away games as we broadcast live at Dangerous Minds Brewing Company, 1901 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach. Join Big O and Alex Dono for the live pregame, halftime, and postgame shows while we watch the games. Enjoy meticulously brewed beer on site, delicious artisanal pizzas, live music, and giveaways. So, the new home for all Inter Miami road games is at Dangerous Minds Brewing Company at the Pompano City Mall, where they'll feature all the Inter Miami games. Follow them on Twitter at Dangerous Minds B and Facebook and Instagram at Dangerous Minds Brewing, and visit them at dangerousmindsbrewing.com.
If you're looking for a change from the everyday restaurant, then you need to get to Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach. Brats, Wiener Schnitzel, homemade potato pancakes, pretzels with mustard, and lots of German beer. And with daily specials, there is something for everyone. If you're up for a challenge, you should take their famous boot tour. Finish 30 boots of different varieties of German beer, and you'll receive half price on their beer for life. And you'll get to take home your own boot and Checkers Old Munchin t-shirt. They also have outdoor seating available in their new beer garden with live music, as well as carry-out, curbside pickup, and delivery. So, for the finest German food and beer, get over to 2209 East Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Checkers Old Munchin Restaurant, or call them for reservations at 954-785-7565. That's 954-785-7565. We'll see you at Zagat Rated Checkers Old Munchin German Restaurant in Pompano Beach.